everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkey Around Reviews. Today we have the Corprit 15.6-inch Ultra HD 4K portable monitor, model D159. This thing has built-in HDMI and USB-C for its input sources. It can do a 178-degree viewable angle, and like I said, it's 4K. It's 3840 by 2160. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. So we opened it up, and the first thing I noticed is it just says portable monitor on here. So I'm guessing it's the same box that they use for all their monitors. When I looked online, they sell a lot of 1080s. This is the only 4K monitor that I actually saw that they were selling at this point in time. So let me turn it around the other way. We're going to slide all this out. There we go. That's everything. So we have here a power brick. Open it up. So it's just a standard power brick here that goes from Edison to USB, and it's a USB-C plug right there. Over here we have an HDMI. It's actually a mini HDMI to regular size HDMI, because the monitor itself takes the smaller one, and that lets you plug it into anything else. We have here USB-C to USB-C. And then we have here another USB-C to USB-C. The user guide. And then here we got the monitor. A lot of foam around it to protect it. And this is the whole thing. It's actually, like I said, it's 15.6 inches. Here is my 15-inch MacBook. So if we put it right up to there, it's the same size. So yeah, it's not tiny, but it's lightweight. It's actually lighter than my Mac. So when we fold this down, there's a little bit of a screen protector in here. You can pull that out. And then as you can see, there are two little notches down here that gives you different viewing angles. So you have kind of straight up, and then you can do a little bit more of an angle out like that if you want to. On the actual monitor itself, on this side, there is a jack here for audio. There is a rocker, an up and down rocker, and then there is a power button. There is nothing on the top, and then on this side, you have USB-C, another USB-C, and then your mini HDMI. So let's go ahead and set this thing up so we can take a look at how it looks. Now there is not a battery built into this thing. So if we set this up here and I hit the power button, it's not going to come on because it needs to be plugged in. There are a couple of different ways that you can plug this in. If your device is USB-C and it can push power through that USB-C, it can power it. If your device does not have USB-C, that's what this adapter is for, and that's why it comes with two USB cables. One goes into the power and one would go into your video source. So, my Mac is old. It does not have USB-C in it, so we will be using both of these. Actually, we'll be using just one, and we'll be using the HDMI. And later, we will test the other one on a different device. So, the first thing we're going to do is plug this in. Get one of these, plug it in here. And we're going to plug into this side here, right into there. So as you see it powered right on, you can actually see it right in the mirror, in the camera, and it went right off. So I'm going to hit the power button. Oh, it says no signal. All right, so we are going to open up the Mac, and like I said, mine's older. We're going to use the HDMI to mini HDMI and plug it right on into here. Caps come off. Full-size HDMI into my Mac. And we are going to plug in to this spot right here. My Mac flashed already, so it read the monitor right away, and there you go. So it looks like it's on extended. Go ahead and do mirror. All right. So here we go. So it's filling the screen nicely. Now I'm thinking we're going to be able to go into the menu. So if I hit the rocker down, it's just doing volume down and volume up, because there are built-in speakers in here. So that's what the rocker on the side is. Now if we push the power button that's above it, it's going to go into a menu, which is right here. So we hit it and it says HDMI, type C1 and type C2. So you can actually, and then you use the rocker to slide around, so you can actually have a source plugged into both USB-C. So this actually has a 3-input source built into it. So that's really nice. So the actual menu with like brightness and contrast, that's when you push the rocker in. So I'm going to push it in, and then it pops up right here. You know, actually, let me bring up a black screen in the background just so we can see it a little better. All right, black screen, a lot easier to see the menu now. So I'm going to hold the button in, and right here it shows that we have controls for brightness, black level, contrast, eco mode, and DCR. If I go down, it now has horizontal and vertical position, and those are locked out, clock and phase, and your aspect. Next down, color temperature, red, green, and blue, so you can come in here and actually color this to match your monitor a little better. The next one down, language, on-screen display positionings, the on-screen display timer, and your transparency for the menu. You have here auto adjust for the image and for the color, a reset, HDR mode, and UART switching. And then the last one is your signal source, which was the button above that as well. The low blue light control, volume control, your frequency sync, and your on-screen display on or off. And that's the whole menu structure in there. Now the audio we're hearing is actually playing out of my laptop. So if I come in here and I switch it to here, because we are using the HDMI, it should actually use the built-in speakers of the external monitor. So I am going to come up here, switch it to the monitors, and it did see it. We're going to play it again. There you go. I'm going to do it one more time. And here's me making the volume lower and the volume higher. So the volume knobs are working, the audio in here is working, the video is working. You can actually see all the colors in here. Let me bring up a test page. Here, it's a little blurry because I blew it up some, but you can actually see all the colors in here. From the yellows to the greens to the pinks and down here into the blues. And you can see the shading here from the blacks to the whites. Now, from my angle, okay, from this angle up here, that's looking a little yellow. But when I come into the front, I can see that it's actually the white that it's supposed to be. Because obviously, I'm a little farther back than that 178 degrees, almost a full 180. I'm behind it, so it's not going to give me exactly what I need to see from up and over it. But if I look back to the front, it's going to look correct. So I am actually seeing all the colors. Let me rotate this around here so you can actually see the matching of the two. So there you go. Obviously there's a little bit of difference, but as we saw in the menu, I can come in and I can change the brightness, change the contrast, red, green, and blue, adjust all that in there. But once again, this is just plugging in HDMI directly into this external monitor, and it's defaulting pretty well. Alright, so that's the HDMI. We see that that works. So I'm going to unplug the HDMI now, and I'm going to grab my phone, because my phone is USB-C. So we're going to now take the other cable and plug my phone into it. I don't know if my phone is going to be able to power it. So we're going to try that first. Let's unplug this one from the power. And we'll plug my phone directly in. And like I said, I don't know if my phone can do power or not. Well, it read that I plugged into it. Yeah, it's flickering on and off right now. I think that's because my phone isn't powerful enough to power this. So we will go back here and plug it into power along with it. Let's see if that helps. Now, all right. There we go. Monitor. So that's something we learned together here. If you're using something that is using USB-C and the USB-C cannot power the device, plug the other USB-C in for power first, then plug the device in. And then it worked. It didn't work if I plugged the signal in first and then the power. So always plug the power in first. So obviously it is matching what's on my screen right now. So I can change this and it's going to follow along. And if I turn the phone sideways, which does not work on the menu, and I open up Chrome, now I turn Chrome sideways, you can see that the monitor actually follows it. There we go. So the same thing, audio is going through the USB-C and coming out of here. It actually defaulted into here. And then if I turn it sideways, it's going to go full screen. And you can see the video going on there. So it works actually easier than the HDMI. Audio already came to here. Okay, so now we're going to unplug it out of the phone. And I've got one more device to try out here. I have a Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch is also a USB-C device. So we're going to start out the same way. I'm going to unplug the USB-C from the power because I want to see if the Nintendo Switch can power this. So USB-C right here on the bottom, we're going to go directly into it and let's see if it can power it up. Nintendo Switch is on, the screen turned on, and does it have the power to run it? So it does not have the power, so same thing, we're going to unplug the source, plug in the power, let it turn on, plug in the switch through the USB-C. The switch is reading that it's in an external monitor, but oh, there it is. It just took a little bit of time. So as you can see, the switch is not showing anything on this screen because it's reading the external monitor, which is down here. So this thing worked great with the computer through HDMI. It worked great with my cell phone through USB-C, and you're seeing right now it's working great with the Nintendo Switch through the USB-C. None of my devices are using USB-C to power. It all seems to be having to use external power brick that it comes with. I'm guessing that if you actually have like the MacBook USB-Cs that are Thunderbolt 3 that do everything through there and it does power charging, that's probably what this monitor needs to be able to use that. So once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews with the Corprit with a C 15.6 inch UHD 4K portable monitor model D159. If you've used portable monitors like this before, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe.